Hi everybody, welcome back to Laura A Vlogs. I'm here with my iced tea. As you know, I have to keep the iced tea with me because I do suffer with a lot of issues with my throat, like a dry cough, or my mouth gets dry. And no, I'm not diabetic. And I guess it stems from after having COVID. It just, my body has been like pretty much out of whack. So, it is what it is. And I decided to do another video. I did one last night and I thought I was going to be done with. I was like, okay, I did a video, but something kept calling me and I was inspired by a conversation that I had with my therapist today. Today I'm filming, it's Wednesday. Wednesday, and I keep forgetting the date because since it's my day off, I try not to overthink on the dates. December 4th. And I wasn't even planning to do another video. I was planning to do was film, some reaction videos. A lot of you don't know, I do music reactions in my second channel. And so I wasn't feeling well. Physically, I was not feeling well today. So I said, I guess it's not happening today. But yet I managed to have a little bit of energy to do this video. And so I'm not going to talk about everything that happened at the session because after all, it is my privacy that I would like to reserve. But it let me thinking about how, okay, so when it comes to relationships, we all go through, different turmoils of relationships in life. Some could be the most wonderful and it just simply didn't work out and people split amicably, or there have been relationships that are severely toxic that destroys your mental, physical, and spiritual strength of your body and really breaks down your spirit, whether you want to continue on the same circle of toxicity or not. And so, I have been in various different situations in my life. And I've also dealt with relationships that it's just like, especially when you're younger, you're just like, after my divorce, I was just like, okay, just hang out with people. And if I click, I click. I don't, I don't. But after that era ended, you eventually grow up and decide to mature. Because you get to a certain age, like once I knew that my 40s kicked in, I knew there was some form of maturity that I needed to do, but I still was, lapsing on certain things because after all, when you were addicted in a certain type of style of living, it's hard to shake it off. And I'm one of those, I was just like, I stood monogamous in my relationship, but I always felt like I was lacking something, like there was a void. And so when that time of my life in my 40s, I came to realize that something wasn't working and that I really didn't know what exactly was causing it. And so you think you meet people along the way that you think they are the it person, the love of your lives. You know, like you meet somebody and you automatically click with that person. You feel it in your heart. You feel it in your soul. You think, you know, this one feels different than the last one. And as you get older, you experience these things happening not just once, but maybe 3 times in your life. Not knowing what exactly, why this happened. Sometimes you think it's fate. You know, and for me, I believe certain things happen because it's fate. I'm very, like, in a sense, a little whimsical when it comes to my feelings when we cross paths with a soulmate, or if people want to believe some sort of twin flame type of thing. But whatever the titles you want to throw on a relationship. But the thing is that when you encounter a certain individual, you don't even have to ask about their life because you automatically see right through them. Maybe there's not so much words spoken about the background, but you see it. You read right through them. And when that happens, that's a very scary thing to do, because that individual knows you can't hide behind a mask. And so it leaves me wondering, with all the heartache that you go through in life with different relationships. And, you know, like, I've always been honest in a sense of, like, me sharing who I am. You know, and I even mentioned, and I'll briefly will mention it, that I even said to my therapist, I'm like, I don't understand how this world can continue being so cold. Like, how people lost their faith and their vulnerability in sharing what lives in their heart. It's really sad to see that, because no matter the amount of heartbreak that I've been through in my life, you know, I try to go into a whole new world of meeting a new person and sharing different aspects of who I am, how I'm truly am. And yes, I know the dangers of that, because sometimes, you know, when you open up right away, you're opening up a door that you don't even know what you're going to get yourself into. And that I learned my lesson. But, you know, I come from a time that when you sit with people, it used to be like you have conversations of everything in life. And even having innocence of, you know, laughter. And it's so lacking in this time age with the new generations, and even with the old generations, of people that have forgotten how to be authentic. And I wonder, how did you lose your innocence in life? Why are you so afraid to be vulnerable? What happened in the course of your life to become so bitter and become so emotionally unavailable? These are the things that I'm always kind of amazed how people continuously do this. And it doesn't matter the meat suit that people carry. It's always something in people they tend to do, which is, it's like a continuation of a similar pattern that people like to carry in their lives. Give me a second, because now, like I said, this is why I have my drink with me. Now, I think about that. It's like, what exactly has made people so cold and so scared? Yes, we live in a really fucked up world, but you kind of figured, I could see, like I even mentioned about dating in New York City. I know it's just as fucked up as any other country, any part of the country, but I never experienced something like, if I were to date somebody in a different country, to experience practically someone else that was here in the States. And I'm just like so puzzled, like, what is going on with the world? How did you lose your faith in life and love? Especially love. Everybody categorizes love as the sex part. And people think that just because you're going to have sex with somebody, it consists of love. Or yeah, if I don't have sex, then you don't love me. It doesn't consist of love. It's just getting physical gratifications. But it doesn't consist of true love. And when you have people that are very selfish and really don't care about another human being's heart, because that individual was hurt in the past with whatever things that they went through, it's really sad to see. Because that individual could say, well, I don't know what to choose, what partner I need to choose, because, well, for example, Laura, she can be very smart and very nurturing. Or Janice, she has such a hot body. Her attributes is her tits and ass. But what about Macy? She has a lot of money and she could get me somewhere because she could take care of me. What about Joanne? Well, Joanne, she could have the kids. She could have babies and pretty much take care of the necessities of the home. So you have those individuals that don't want to stick with one person because they feel that each person is lacking something from supposedly their potential partner. But then when you meet that one person that pretty much consolidates everything into one human being, and pretty much, I would say, God blesses you with that perfect partner that you've been praying for. then what happens? Then the self-sabotage kicks in. Then that individual doesn't even know how to handle it. He does not know how to handle the partner that he's been praying for all his life. The one that makes him want to feel secure. The one who has his back. The one who's going to be the nurturer. The one who's going to take care of him if, God forbid, he's sick. And he's in need of support in the health department. Like, hey, I need you by my side so I could get through those hard moments in the hospital. Or take care, like if he's working, she's working, they're both matching each other's energies because you know what? They both have goals that they want to succeed in life. Or have the partner that really knows how to make you laugh, smile, joke around, make you feel like a kid again. How can you throw that away? Because you were scared. How can any individual throw away the treasure that was presented before him or her and just throw it away because you were scared, because you think you're not going to meet that person's expectations? And that is really, like I said, it leaves me wondering, what did you let life destroy you so bad that made you feel so cold and pretty much destroy the best thing in your life? And I've noticed that people in the city, and no matter if you do physical dating or you doing virtual dating, people have become so scared to be themselves. How can you not become yourselves? Yes, we do live in a world that people are users and takers. But when you have someone genuinely being kind to you and not looking at your bank account, genuinely asking you how you doing without even thinking of asking you for money, how can you not reciprocate a very genuine gesture? Because, unfortunately, we do live in a world that people love to feed their negativities. Oh, don't talk to her because maybe she is looking for you for your money. Or don't talk to him because maybe, he just wants to use you for your body. Or don't even bother reaching out to her because she is not part of your social economic, partner you don't want to support. Because yes, if someone happens to be making less money than you, doesn't mean that she is lazy. Because you'd be surprised how hardworking that individual can be. And all you do is support each other's goals. You'll be surprised the amazing things can happen if people would be genuinely open and talk about their goals in life. What you want to do? Well, I want to do X, Y, and Z. What do you want to do? Well, I want to do X, Y, and Z. And really genuinely support each other as human beings. And you must say, yeah, that must be a beautiful thing in the fantasy world. Because I know a lot of you might be so pessimistic when it comes to life, because everyone has gotten burned along the way. But this is where we need to fight to be really genuine with ourselves and the people around us. Because you know what? If we don't try, then we continue building a lot of negativity upon us. Then you're going to be forever living in a very cold, voided life. Right now, you know, I'm a single woman, yes. It doesn't mean that I'm living a very cold life just because I don't have a partner. But it doesn't mean that I'm closing my heart off for anybody in the future that I meet. Because you know what? I do believe I will find my right partner who matches my energy, that loves to laugh, be a kid, you know, have similar goals on achieving in our professional lives. Even seeing what else is out there that we can do and live and create not just a legacy in our own personal lives, but you know what? Sometimes life will open new doors. And I've always been a fighter. And I know in my heart that I will find that person that will match my energy. And I am not giving up on that. But in the meantime, you know, these thoughts come into my head and wonder, how? How can you live like that? And being cold, alone, misunderstood, voided, living in a mental jail with no one that can understand you. Because when you had that one person that completely understood you through and through, you just discard it like last night's garbage and say, you know what, I could find better. Yeah, you found better. You might find that extra hot body there, or you found somebody that be your mother. Because a lot of times, and that was a video that I haven't posted out yet, but eventually I will. And how sometimes when you go into relationships with partners, you know, sometimes these partners want you to become their mother. And unfortunately, when you're teaching children from a young age, sometimes you have to teach them to be self-sufficient. I'm one of those, like, yeah, it took me a little bit of a struggle to teach my sons to be self-sufficient, but now they're getting there. They're getting there. Now they're adults, but they're getting there. They're understanding how important it is to be self-sufficient as adults, not to depend on a woman to take care of them. So when you raise children, men, who supposedly men, and there really are little boys, no matter the age, you could be adult in your 40s or in your 50s, and if you don't know how to take care of yourself, responsibility in your lives, and you want someone else to take care of you as you are a 5-year-old child needing help, then that's a problem. I think everybody has to be a responsible adult in learning to really be self-sufficient and not use their partners out way before even getting to the wedding, way before the walking down the aisle, so to speak. You can't do that. You cannot abuse mentally, spiritually, physically abuse a human being that loved you with all her heart and thinking that you're entitled to be taken care of like you're a king. That's not the real world. That backwards mentality of back in the day that was socially acceptable does not exist this day. That's why you see more and more women are saying, you know what, I'm going to stay on my own. I don't need love anymore. I make my own money. I have the roof over my head. If I want to buy expensive things, I'll buy my own expensive things. If I want to travel, I'll do my own traveling. I don't need a man to take care of me. But then there's the other women, and I'm not trying to, you know, dog women of the ones who are codependent on a man to take care of them because you don't know how to survive on your own either. But it happens out there. It happens all the time. I personally see it all the time. And when you do that, you are limiting yourself in the capabilities what you can achieve in your lives. And I think as women, you definitely need to find the inner strength to say, you know what, I could do so much better, regardless of the challenge that I am inflicted on. Because you know what? Sure, that man that you're laying up with, he might have a really wonderful body. Maybe he has a lot of money in the bank that he's just dangling over your head saying, well, if you jump through these hoops, then, you know, I'll throw you a little bone here and there. But at the end of it, is it really worth the aggravation and lose your spirit for that money? It could go same way with the men. Is it really worth being abused, manipulated, mistreated for that paycheck just because you need to get out of whatever debts you got yourself into? You know, that's why again, I'm saying, how did you lose your innocence of life? I think everybody needs to step back on that and reflect on these thoughts on like, how did we lose it? In what way can I gain it back? Because once you realize that you lost something that is so pure, so loving, now it's a matter of, now it's something needs to change. And I'm working on that too. And I recognize that there's a certain part of me that is very voided. It doesn't mean that I lost the innocence of my side, because if it wasn't for my children, I think I would have been much more worse when it comes to, you know, joking around like a 5-year-old with my grown sons and live a very depressing life. But that's one thing that I'm working on, is to retrieve and fall in love with life again. But this time with a different set of eyes. And I think this is where we all need to do our work, especially when it comes to us regaining our lives back, regardless of the broken relationships we had in life. It doesn't matter if it's partners, it could be through family of every type. But just to regain a little bit of that innocence is something that we definitely need to preserve. Because at the end of it all, you know, we're going to continue going downward spiral. I mean, I'm already seeing it here, that people are just so angry. So angry. because of the hurt they carry. And it's happening to me too, that people want to inflict their anger at me because of the fact that I don't never sugarcoat things in life. And I never believe in becoming a smiling liar just so I could fit in the society of this world. I will always be as truthful as I can. And then when I meet people, yeah, this is who I am. This is what I'm about. And I think the authenticity of ourselves needs to be shown more and more. And if you hear the train, I have the Amtrak. I live by the highway. So by the highway, there's the train tracks that are like Amtrak is heading up north. So it's that time. But yeah. How can, we need to be more authentic with ourselves. Find innocence, work on getting over those voided areas that we don't know why we got there. I really pray that people could get through those moments in their lives. Because me personally, I'm learning to let go of people because of the fact that, yes, people have hurt me way too many times, disrespected me, belittled me, mentally abused me, used me. And when you have individuals doing that, it could have broken down, because I promised myself back in the day that when I left my second child's father, I promised myself that I will never put myself in a position of hurting another human being and hurting myself in the process. Because a lot of you don't know, I used to cut myself a lot. Used to cut my wrists, hurt myself physically a lot because of the mental breakdown that I was going through. This time around, I'm handling it so much differently. So much differently that people want to see me kill myself. And that's the reality of it. That when you have individuals that want to hurt you mentally to the point of breaking your mind, they want to see you, they want to hear the headlines that Laura finally killed herself, just so you could get that satisfaction. Like, yeah, I really got to her. But you know what? I'm a totally different bitch. I'm a fighter. And no matter how many ways that people want to hurt me mentally, the devil will not win from hurting me. And I do believe in God. I do believe I'm always constantly praying every single day to protect me. And if it wasn't for my faith and the love of my family, I will not be sitting in front of you guys making a video. But definitely, I will try to retrieve and keep my innocence of my life and find joy again. Because I think anybody who has been hurt, regardless of the types of relationships you carried in your life, we all do deserve to be treasured, understood, loved, appreciated, admired, and supported. Not just the monetary, but the emotional support, which is so important. Because in order to have that fulfillment in your heart, When you know, when you have that emotional support of a loved one that is reciprocal with each other, that is the biggest blessing that any human being could ever treasure, is the genuine love that you have for another human being. And you know what? Anybody going through this, we will all achieve it. We just have to be very patient, very selective on the type of people that we want in our lives. And if we see things that it doesn't seem right, please keep in mind you always protect your peace, regardless how your heart feels. Because you know what? You are a very valuable human being. You know, I do agree. So yeah, I know the video seems a little bit everywhere, but I just felt like sharing my little thoughts and my heart with you guys, because it is really, really hard sometimes. But like I said, I'm not giving up. And I don't think you should either. Because you know what? We are definitely worth the effort, the love, and the support. Anyway, guys, thank you again for viewing my content. And if you guys enjoy this content, you guys know what to do. And if you are new to the channel, you are very much welcome to subscribe. And thank you again for viewing my video. If you want to share this video, maybe somebody who is going through something very sad, maybe you find a little something from my thoughts and maybe help them get uplifted and know that they're not alone on the journey of life. Alrighty, so thank you again, and I'll catch you guys soon on the next vlog. Bye.